run like hell. You got the game? Now, let me tell you what I learned, though. And I'm going to get right back to this so that you guys, now I know you guys are laughing and snickering, but you guys are in the suits, remember? I'm still sitting here real comfortable in a t-shirt, shorts, and a ball cap. And I'm going to explain exactly what I came up with. In 1973, of course, I've already told about stock or income tax fraud and mentioned that. In 74, it happened again using Halfdale. And the reason why I know it's income tax fraud and that Mr. Buffett's involved is Halfdale was incorporated at the exact same time the shares were switched into Halfdale. Oh my God. And guess who helped him? Hamlin and Trotter. And guess who were the only officers and directors from 1973 to 2000? Buffett, Hamlin, and Trotter. Those three guys are the culprits. And when you turn around and go dormant with a corporation, what are you supposed to do? Well, you're supposed to have an officers meeting and a directors meeting, which they had. And they decided to go dormant with the corporation out in Delaware, the legal corporation of Halfdale. Well, that's the company that they merged all their corporations into. You know, one little merger. They merge in Halfdale. Of course, the DBA name was Berkshire Hathaway. Then in 1996, they changed the DBA name to OBH Inc. But the legal corporation name is Halfdale, and they merge in all the assets. And then you get the stock book. Equiserve, was the transfer agent, hands the corporation book to the board of directors so they can give the shares of how it's supposed to be allocated with the transfer, called a merger. That's the tax-free part of it. Well, what happened in 2000? Well, god dang, that's pretty close to when? About the time I filed bankruptcy. Oh yeah, and also what was it close to? Yeah, the day I had my farm sale when Don bought my notes at the bank. And January 15th of 2000, I had my goddamn land sold out from underneath me. But don't worry, Don. I knew eventually I'd get her back. And it's coming right now because you're going to love what my plan is. This money I'm going to get, I'm going to buy land. I just thought I'd let you know. It come around. As they say, what goes around comes around. Ah, yeah, here we go. Now, let me explain what happened so you get a real good idea. Now, guys, listen correctly because I've been talking for quite a long time, but I want you to learn this point. In 2000, when you went dormant with this corporation of Halfdale, at that point, you had the officers meeting and the directors meeting. The next step after that is you have a shareholders meeting, and you didn't have it. All you did was 1 minute later set up a new corporation called NBH Inc., which stands for New Berkshire Hathaway. Oh my God, that's something real quick. But 1 minute later out in Delaware, you set up a new corporation, transferred the cash over, and now you always have to put on your stock acquisitions as a corporation called OBH Inc., owning about 40%, and Berkshire Hathaway, which owns the rest of it, the 60%. And you always have to put that whenever you buy some stock. Or is it merger? Yeah, it's merger. You buy merge, you merge. But each time you got to report it that way because the assets prior to 2000 that are still in existence are in where? Halfdale, the dormant corporation. Oh my God. You know what that means? You did a merger in yourself. That's the illegal part of it. The SEC couldn't see that because they never saw that 1 minute. I saw it immediately. Once I saw that minute, I knew exactly what you guys did. You did a merger in yourself. And why would you do that? Oh yeah, that's the simple part. To tell Equiserve that you had a merger and you need the stock book back. And Don's name, who's now on the stock by itself, is all of a sudden switched into some trust without a name we can recognize. And if we call up Wells Fargo, the new transfer agent, they don't know a Don Nielsen because we don't know what the name is. Oh, that was a real slick maneuver, except that it's illegal. Real illegal. And then in Nebraska, you set up 2 foreign corporations for OBH Inc. using the incorporation date of what? Halfdale's, when it incorporated back in 1973. And then you got another corporation called Berkshire Hathaway. What incorporation date? When you set the new corporation of NBH Inc. And you filed foreign corporation status. Of course, that's all illegal. I hate to tell you guys that, but the game's over with. Because now you got something the SEC can really bite their teeth in. And I've been talking to them for a long time. They just haven't seen the picture, but once they saw that last video that I sent you guys, and you just kind of blinked, you should have blinked a little bit more and had a meeting. But you didn't. You thought you were smart enough. Well, guess what? You didn't come and get the meeting, which you should know the game. Reason number 2 is I don't think Mr. Gates understands what his game is and what his problem is. Because if he turned around and signed that agreement about the same time, and then it has to be relatively close, which I'm pretty sure it is, that Mr. Buffett signed the agreement that he was going to turn around and commit all his A shares and transfer them for B's at 10% or 5% at a crack, which he's been doing now for the last 2-3 years, and converts his A's to B's, and the B's are going to the foundation of Mr. Gates. And at the same time, Mr. Gates is acquiring B shares for the A's. You might have a taxable problem there. And what it is as a foundation owner of Gates Foundation, if you made that agreement and it's simultaneously shown that you're to receive Don's A shares, Mr. Gates, you receive something in kind, which means that you are not supposed to receive anything as a owner of a foundation, and you did. You received basically the right to have Don's A shares. And the foundation is now taxable. Congratulations! And I get to collect another what? 10% from the IRS. Because they give me 10% for turning you guys in. As soon as I hand this over to them, they're going to look at me and say, and you did what? Oh, I think I found the fact that that foundation is now taxable. And all the donation that Mr. Gates or Mr. Buffett has given is now a tax